So the first thing you want to do with your cherry clip-ins is to clip them. And clipping them basically means clipping off the extra legs of the stem that causes mushiness. If you look at the stem, there are 4 legs. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you want to cut off this one and this one because they stick out the bottom a little. See? So what you basically do is you take your pliers and you just snap them right off. There we go. And then check to see if the bottom is completely flat. If it's not flat, take a knife and just slice off the extra part. Then what you want to do next is you see the remaining 2 legs. This is actually a little too long, and what it will do is it'll rub on the side of the housing and cause scratch. And that's why people complain about cherry stabs being very scratchy. But you can get rid of the scratch by just trimming them down. Don't cut them off. Trim them down just a little bit, like about this length. Again, you do not want to cut them off. Be very careful. You don't want to trim off too much. All right. Now you see, this leg is just a little bit shorter than this one. And you want to do the same for the other side. All right, now I didn't completely get it this time. And that's where you use your knife and you can just cut off this part. All right, and there we go. So see, these 2 are a little shorter. And you don't want to trim it down too much, or else it won't be able to securely secure itself inside your housing. Now repeat that for the other side. All right, now once you've done clipping your cherries, here's how you mop them. So first, let's talk about why stabs tick. Let's take a look at the tolerances for cherry stabs, because that's the reason why stabs usually tick. So as you insert the wire, there's very tight tolerances when it's flat, but once you angle it up like this, there's going to be a little gap. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a tiny gap on the bottom. So it can wiggle up and down, and of course it can wiggle side to side. So unfortunately, that gap on the bottom that allows it to move up and down cannot be fixed. You can only sort of fill it in with lube. But the side to side wobble can easily be fixed with a bandaid mod. Okay, so if you take a look at the wire, it's touching the right side of the inside of the stab, but it's not touching the left side. But what the wire would do as you actuate the switch is it will move a little to the left, and then it will come right back and hit the wall on the right. And what we're trying to do is just to minimize that wobble from side to side. And here's how you do it. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is something sort of like a holee mod, but only on the side. Usually with the holee mod, you put it over here, but we're going to put it over here on the side, or on the walls. And to start, I take a bandaid, and we want 2 layers of it. Cut it in half. And then we'll layer it. You don't need much, so let's just trim it down. And then I'm just gonna peel it out. Now this is the size that you want to aim for. All right, see this hole. You want to aim something that fits here, but it does not touch the top or like it doesn't wrap around onto the top or to the bottom. And then just insert it into the hole. Like this. And with your tweezers, make sure that it is fully adhered to the wall. You want the wire to come in like this, and it's not getting any side-to-side movement, which is very good. Now for the other stem, we want to put it on the left side instead of the right side. And as you can see, it reduces side-to-side movement. All right, now that you've applied the Band-Aid, let's get to lubing. So I'm using 3204 today. You can use 205G0, 3203, or any other lube that isn't super thick. And then you just want to put a medium layer of lube. You don't want to like completely fill the hole, but give it enough that you can see globs of white lube around. Like that. And lube the sides. This is actually not necessary, but I like to do it anyways. This is the side with the wire clips in, and then you want the side of the stem where there's 2 holes, see? 1, 2 holes to face the side that the wire clips in. So it should look like this. Here, where the wire clips into the stab housing, I would recommend you put a good amount of lube around the area. Now I'm going to do the same for the other side. All right, now that your housings are done, it's time to balance the wires. Now, it's going to be really hard to show you exactly how I balance the wires, but some people like to do the tap method, where you put it on a flat surface, and then you take something and you tap it and listen. I find that extremely inconsistent. Some taps might sound like it's flat, but if you look at it, it isn't. So I like to do a visual check. I just tilt my phone or put my eye to my phone and then take a look at this side. Of course, I have to hold it steady, but like, see if this side is sticking up. If it's sticking up, then you can use tweezers or your hands and twist that side away from you, okay? So if it's sticking up, there's a gap, twist away from you. And then the other side, you twist towards you. But if you want a little more leverage, then you can just use 2 tweezers and pinch the wire like this, and then use the tweezers to twist either direction. Okay, I got it balanced. Give it a medium to heavy coat of lube all the way around this part of the wire and a little bit past the bend. All right, now this is the tricky part. Remember how I said that the band-aids are supposed to face on the inside, sort of? So if you take a look at your stem, see, this bandaid is on the right side. So I want the wire to clip in like this. Now let's take a look at this one. As expected, it's on the left side. So this goes on the left. All right, there we go. Make sure that it is properly seated. What I like to do is I take my tweezer, my curved tweezer. It doesn't work for straight tweezers. And then you want to stick it in this hole. And then you just push down. This tweezer will prevent the stab from going any further and allow you to push down on it. And that is a fully seated stab. Now to test.